I want to continue on this video where I mentioned and talked about time as a moment of experience, because I checked it and the audio is not proper. So I wanted to do it again with more clarity, and hope I'll be covering all the points the way they should be. So essentially the whole idea of time was manipulated in this reality for wicked, evil reasons, unfortunately. But here we are, so let's talk about it. So like I mentioned, time is non-linear. And people have already come across these concepts before, but nobody went into depth to actually explain as to what it means when you say that, and how it works. Because of course they wanted to create an enigma over certain higher level concepts in quantum physics and time and cosmos, so that those people can feel important and powerful, and they are keeping the secrets of the quantum physics and quantum mechanics and the operations of time and timelines and everything, because they are busy abusing it, that knowledge. So they would rather just keep it as a higher level, confusing, very difficult concept to grasp, and keep it enigmatic so that it would profit, glorify its secrecy, and then they keep it that way while people are wondering, oh, I don't know, it sounds very a very complicated concept and all that. It's not that complicated. So this enigma was just to keep people away from it. So the time is non-linear because, look at it, there's going to be people who are willing to learn lessons in X amount of time. There will be other who learn the same lessons in Y amount of time and Z amount of time and B, C, D, whatever. And it will work out in infinite possible ways, because even backwards, now that the gravity and all this are introduced and backward movement was artificially orchestrated in the whole fabric of time and space, pure manipulation and sheer mass of karma by creating this gravity, they twisted this concept of time backwards also, which means not only people take XYZ different amount of times to learn a particular lesson that shows willingness to learn, it's the backward moment. They don't want to learn, they want to be stuck, they want to go through loops, and they want to degenerate themselves by going backwards. Instead of wanting to learn lessons, they would rather go backwards. Avoid as much as possible, create as many problems and obstacles and challenges to learning the lessons as possible, because they don't want to learn it. And they can only do so by going backwards, because by going forwards, they are giving themselves a chance to learn, and they don't want to do it. Oh my goodness, it scares the shit out of them. They made a promise to the evil spirits a long time ago, generations ago. It all comes in the families of generations and cults. It's all well intricately kept secrets. So they made all these promises and such commitments a long time ago, and they're happy with not growing. So if they take one moment forward and give themselves a chance to grow, it's betraying that promise, and they cannot do it. Oh my God, they cannot, they should not, and they don't want to. There is no should not. There is always a choice of being better, choosing the good. They don't want to. It's an active choice. So they created the backwards movement for that reason. Yeah. Like they are so scared that if they give themselves a chance to learn, they would actually be part of something good, and they don't want it. Oh my goodness. Me healing and growing and evolving and moving forward? No. I am here to destroy other people who are wanting to move forward, and I want to pull them backwards. And by doing so, I suck their energy out and their life force out of them and ruin them. In the process, I will feed myself. And I'm okay with it. I'm very happy with this. This is my existence. And I'm happy with it. I'm so happy with it. I accepted it. I'm committed to it. So this backwards movement. So there is an infinite way of existing through time. Life is practically existing through time. Now what are you going to do with that existence will be your own personal job. Because on a moment to moment basis, You are going through an experience, and that's what time means. In this moment, there is a particular experience which you are processing on all levels. Internally, all internal journey. This is all purely internal, because what becomes your physical outside reality is only a pure reflection and a manifestation of what you have worked through on the inside. Mind, body, soul, spirit. Yeah. Energy and time. So what happens is, in this moment of time, in this moment, there is an experience. And what you do with that experience paves way for the next experience, the next moment, that builds over it, that builds and improvises over it. And it keeps happening. It keeps happening because this particular choice you made in this moment, in this experience, whatever you did with your processing, has that information that you process, the moment you lived through, that whatever knowledge you gained or lesson you learned from it, whatever awareness of gained from it, you attained a certain level that paved way for the rest of the journey to open up. And so there are more moments of experiences coming up again and again and again. And none of it is linear and straightforward. It doesn't have to be, because like I said, there is infinite ways of living life and going through experiences and learning things. And everybody does it on their own level, mind, body, soul, spirit. And everybody's existence is unique, which means there is no two paths that travel parallelly together. No way. There is no copying, mimicking, imitation of exact same version of you. No. There is only one you, and your path is unique for you. Whether you tap into that potential and fully embrace that path and reach the end or not is up to you. But the path was always meant for you. Which means it's personal and private to your own journey, your own existence. You speak your life through that pathway. You imprint yourself, your existence, through that pathway, through those series of moments of experiences and choice points. And every critical point where you've made a major decision, major enough that you turn things around majorly, that is where the timeline shifts happen. Because you have mastered or attained a level of mastery and a level of lesson learned and expertise and alchemy at certain level, that whatever it is that you're meant to, for in that moment of evaluation comes, the critical point where the choice has happened for you to choose growth and healing and master your lesson that you learned throughout the journey. If you didn't learn, you would have gone down a different path where the things you learned were over, and the things that you have not yet to learn will happen through another pathway. That kind of, there is a new pathway. Let's say you learned all the important lessons. There is a timeline jump itself, because you don't even have to exist on that timeline ever again, because you've learned whatever was most important and critical for you to learn through that journey, through those series of moments of time and experiences. You learned it. You mastered it in a way that says, your energy speaks for itself. I don't even have to be on this timeline anymore. I've mastered it. So there is a timeline jump. You no longer exist on that timeline with those people, situations, scenarios anymore. You made a jump to whatever area that you have mastered. You jump to that place. And that's also where your blessings are, because you mastered certain lesson. You mastered certain whatever area of life that you needed to address an issue and work through it and finish it. Finish the homework successfully. Whatever is left behind would again come your way in the new pathway, through new experiences, through new moments of time, through new scenarios and people and places and situations, through which you are again going on a new journey. And then at the end of this journey comes not just end. There are other critical points within the journey, within the pathway, for you to go through it so that you would keep growing. You would keep making those choices and decisions, and accordingly you keep changing your pathways, opening up new pathways for yourself, constructing new avenues for your own existence, and making timeline jumps accordingly in the process. And that's how life is lived. Time is literally a moment of existence, a moment of experience for you to do something with it. And what you do with it will describe what comes next and what comes next and what comes next and what happens in the next choice point and critical point, pivotal point of turning your life, where the timeline jumps happen. Crucial moments. And this is how life is lived. And it's not linear if you look at it, obviously, because there is no need for it to be linear. And it would be unfair if it is linear. If you see, there is a school system which tries to fit everybody in the same school and try to suffocate the intelligent student and enables the student who don't want to, who make an active choice to not want to learn but still sit in the class to disturb others. And then there is the average middle group, who come and go, do the bare minimum and are satisfied with it. Or don't even do bare minimum but do a little bit and get away with it. And the one who suffocates the most here is the one who is truly intelligent, who learns quicker and better and faster, and have no reason to be stuck in the same classroom when their learning speed is different. That's why universe is fair. That's why universe is not like a typical classroom where they suffocate everybody involved in it by enabling losers and lazy thieves and people who don't even do the bare minimum or do bare minimum and get away with a lot, or trouble other students just by their existence. They are not here to learn, but they are here to trouble others who want to learn. And the one who suffers the most is always the one who wants to learn the fast and better, do the better job, be the smarter one, be the faster one, be the intellectual one, the real intellectual, not just a bookish smart. See how the system is built? It's like this. And that's why on a quantum level, universe is not like that. Universe is very fair. That is why time is also not linear. There are people who would learn some important lesson in less than 5 years. Why would you want to suffocate them by keeping in situations that will drag them out for 50 years? It's unfair. Everybody has their own pace to learn, and everybody has their own resources to learn. Everybody has their own soul capacity that they carry from previous lifetimes and experiences again and again. And what they do with it will determine their pathways, which means they have their own experiences, choices, their own internal and external environments, people, places, situations that come into their existence so that they would learn. Whether they learn or not is going to be their choice. But they do this. The universe creates these moments for them, expecting and hoping if they do the job, they will learn. If not, it will go in different pathway. So it's an extremely private, personal journey. It has nothing to do with anybody outside of you. Nothing. And it's fair. It's based on your own internal environment, based on your own pace of learning, based on your own willingness to learn. Your choices, active or passive. A choice is a choice, and not making a choice is also a choice. That's how fair universe is. It doesn't suffocate fast learners. It doesn't enable lazy asses. No. And it doesn't accept bare minimum. It doesn't let anybody get away with taking from anybody or not doing enough work and expecting rewards. No. It's the exact opposite of how our so-called learning systems work, you see. It's fair. It's so fair. It's never equal, because equal in itself is unfair. They try to give an impression of equal in our systems here, which is a fraud. Equal doesn't mean shit. Fair, now that's right. Fair. So, it's an extremely private and personal journey, you see. And so you have no reason to blame or do anything outside of you. It's all based on your own internal environment. And if someone crosses your path, there is a reason why. because you have to learn something from it, or you are supposed to grow something, or you are supposed to see something in that situation and persons or scenarios or places, and learn something about yourself, because it's all internal journey first and foremost. So you learn something about you and the world and things around you through that experience, through which you make a choice internally again to grow on a certain level that the moment passes by. So that person's existence in your life will come to an end when that person who crossed your path also had something to learn and they mastered it. So they go now on a different journey, different pathway. You learning or not will also determine how your pathway go. Your pathway will never match their pathway. They were always on a different pathway that matches their abilities, their soul, spirit, mind and body and purpose. But they crossed paths because you have something to do with learn from them, and they had something to learn from these interactions, these situations, these scenarios, this whatever. And when you learn, you have a different path. They learn, they have a different path. When you don't learn, you're going back to learning the same lessons again because you did not do anything. If they don't learn, they have different scenarios for which they are set out to go into for them to learn. And none of them will ever be about you crossing paths with them or them crossing paths with you ever again. It was only a one-time thing. It was always a one-time thing. You cross path. Whether you learn or not, it will open different pathways for you. Whether they learn or not, opens a different pathway for them. It was always a unique, personal, private thing. So it will never be another moment of crossing paths, ever. Ever. Even if they didn't learn, it would not be with you. They would be put in different situations where they will have to learn a similar lesson in a different scenario again. Because this scenario they failed. They won't go back. Like I said, life is in the forward moment in itself. The time itself moves forward. So when they make that progress, when they make that change in some way, shape or form, they paved a pathway for themselves based on whatever they have learned or not learned, based on what you learned or not learned. You moved in a different pathways and they move in different pathways, and that ends there. That ends there. Nobody comes back to anybody even if they did not learn their lessons, because it's time to learn in a different place, different scenario, different environment. Unless they did not do anything useful at all, permanently stuck in the way they entered was the way they were leaving the situation was equal or worse than the way they entered the situation. And then it is too bad. They're backwards. They're not learning anything. On top of it, they're degenerating. And they would be put in situations that would call for that kind of growth. The same happens to everybody involved. That same thing happens to everybody involved. So, crossing paths is only for that reason, because somebody has to go through those moments of learning. And once it's over, it's over. There is no going back or going through or reliving. There is no concept. Just like a river will not flow through the same moment again and again. The same moment will not pass through. The same water will not pass through the same place again, twice. The same with time. It flows. It's always generating itself forward based on your own personal internal environment, based on your own journeys, choices. It's paving way for yourself. It's always building itself movement forwards. So what you learn, don't learn, will move forward. What they learn and don't learn will take them forward. Either ways, it's always going to be a forward moment. It will be them creating situations and pathways that would help them grow the way it is supposed to help you, whoever is involved in the scenario. And then it's a movement forwards either way. There is no reliving through same people, places, situations, scenarios again. There is no such thing in the universe. And in order to bring these kind of stuck, stagnant, backward, degenerate situations and reliving, sucking life out of people's, by reliving you are sucking life out of, because like I said, backwards is death, backwards is degeneration, backwards is loss, forward is gain. Yes. So they created this gravity and backward moments and this fake time structure of 24 hours and time zones and this and that to create time gaps and fake loops and fake gaps in time and fake false timelines that go backwards. And they started unnecessarily forcing people to go through and live through the same moments again and again and again, same lives, same people, places, situations, scenarios again and again and again. This is called recycling, literally. Again and again and again and again. No, what universe does it, even if you don't learn, it will put you in a new different scenario where you would be given another chance to learn that lesson in a different way. Like I said, it's all about infinite, unlimited options, unlimited ways of doing things. So it won't never be. The way the universe is built, it will never be about reliving through same people, places, situations, scenarios to learn same lessons. It doesn't work that way. It's the false narrative and false world and a fake stuck reality that these men who are desperate to control the creation and creator and energies around started doing it and manipulated the whole reality around this backwards thing. And so they manipulated time also for this purpose. So they can keep dragging people back into situations, scenarios, people, places, things that are already dead, that were not meant to be relived again. You don't pass through the same moment or same places, people, situations, things again and again in the universe. Universe is not like that. Universe finds fresh, new, different ways for you to learn. It's creative, it's productive, it's creation. It doesn't mind if you don't learn. It will be a movement forward in a different scenario for you to learn that lesson. If not, if you didn't learn in this scenario, it will not go back. It is built that way. It's going back is death, and it knows the moment has already passed away, and there is no way of passing through the same moment with the exact same moment again in time. It doesn't exist. It's not a real reality. It's a false reality. Because in universe, the same moment with all those factors, both internal and external matching, the same exact replica of a moment never exists in the universe two times. It's one. It's only once. One moment of time that only occurs one unique time in everybody's life, in everybody's existence. That same exact moment will never again occur, ever again, twice, never. That's how unique and creative universe is. It generates, it regenerates, it's creative. It's not like this people who are stuck, who can't create anything. Universe is creation. It knows how to create. It is moving forward, that's why. It doesn't care. Once the moment of time is over, the moment of experience is over, it's over. There is no need for creating an exact same moment to live through again. It won't happen again. It will never. It's not built that way at all. In order to bring this artificial false reality, they created all these fake timelines, the backward timelines through gravity and bending time and space, and the fake time zones. Because this whole world was never about life. It was always about death. It was built for death and built around death. These time zones are also for that reasons. So that in every moment of time, in the entire fabric of life, fabric of time and space, someone is always dying. There is death to people, places, things, situations, or areas of anybody's life. Death of any kind, if not physical death. Death is like end to something, okay? So bringing an end to something that is of life, bringing death to something like that, which had life, has to occur every moment in time in the entire existence of this time and space fabric, moment to moment basis. That is why not all over the world, not all places have light at the same time and darkness at the same time. They claim that there is only one sun and one moon. And if that is the case, how is it that all over the world, all these numerous amounts of time zones and different nights and days are darkness and light is existing? Because they have to manipulate all these to create a death. This artificially created time So death can be built around this time itself. Time can be built around the death itself. Somebody has to always be dying in order for this fake reality, false reality, this fake timelines to be kept alive. The whole world is built on the concept of sacrifice itself. Someone has to be sacrificed, or something has to be sacrificed on a moment-to-moment basis all over the world. This whole world that was created, they show on the map. How much of it is real or not is up to you. On a moment-to-moment basis, so that everything has to be around the sacrifice, around the death. So on a moment-to-moment basis, as universe is building life, this false reality, false world, the false timelines and false world rotates around death. On a moment-to-moment basis, somebody has to be dying to keep this facade going, to keep this false reality going. The sacrifice has to keep on going. So death is the inherent reality of this false matrix, this false reality, this false world, this fake fraudulent world with fake time, where the time is forcefully made linear, and for you to go through the loops of same events and again and again and again in your daily life, which was never a real reality in the grand cosmic quantum level existence of humans. Look at your own lives. How linear did you make it? How fixed you make it? How inflexible you made it? How stuck around you made it? And the world made it for you, and you also accepted it. You didn't see. You're stuck in your own prisons. And that's what they did. So everything can be built around sacrifice and death. The whole world is built around death and for death. That is why everybody who chooses life, growth, movement forward and healing and advancement and evolution, true evolution on the soul level. All evolution is already on the inside first. Whatever manifests on the outside is only going to happen after a long time of all the work that is done on the inside. So all this evolution, while it's happening inside, why they target people who choose life and growth and evolution and forward movement and healing and the power from inside all the time? Because they want death, and they built a whole world around death and sacrifice. And you choose life and growth and evolution and higher connection and higher jumping timelines, and you choose higher things. That's why they relentlessly target people who choose life itself in their day-to-day existence. And like I already mentioned in the previous video, if you look at the time zones, every country, every continent has only one time zone. And then this miraculously small piece of land called North America, such a small piece of land, and yet it is chopped into so many pieces and so many time zones and so many different time zones and so many different natural disasters surrounding around it. Death has to be such a regular reality in that particular piece of land. It was built for a specific agenda, specific purpose. There is a whole continents that operate only on one time zone. The so-called Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn and all that bullshit they feed us. And then there is this one small piece of land that's chopped into so many pieces, 30 plus pieces, and every piece has its different time zone. How do they manage this light and dark and sun and moon moments around all these and time zones and variations in time zone? They have to meticulously plan so that the death is always round the clock happening in that piece of land. What's the agenda? Why? And that's why there's a lot of debate and fights and arguments going on around the whole world itself, the whole so-called map and its shape and all that. And it's true. Both of them are true, have very small truth in it and a large amount of falsity in it. But just like all other information they feed us, both in the school and in the media and outside. There's a lot of falsity to it with a very small room for truth in it. 2 to 5% of truth. Even 5 would be big, but I'd give them a room. 2 to 5, maximum 2 to 5, 1 to 5% of truth, surrounded by 95% of falsity. And it would take a real inner strength and inner clarity, inner wisdom and worldly knowledge, cosmic knowledge, divine knowledge and wisdom to understand which of it is true and which of it is just huffy loud words with noise but no sense. So it's a lie for sure. But that's not even the point, because good for us that all our existence and value and purpose and meaning and power is all in the inside. So let's not worry about what's on the outside, because they will create as many false narratives and realities around us as much as they want. But none of it will stand as long as your inside job is working out well for you. So one great thing, one good thing among all this nonsense is still the fact that it's still in our hands, because our journey is in our hands, because it is our internal journey. That's one really powerful good news about it. They don't have any role to play in our journey as long as we don't let them, and we learn how to heal and evolve and protect ourselves and tap into that inner power and connection with the source and all that. We do things right on a regular basis. They won't have anything to do. And that's the good news about it, though, despite all the noise and nuisance around time and life and existence and all that. But they manipulated time so much to make it seem it's linear, to force people to be stuck in their own prison, going through the same things over and over again, which is never a reality in the cosmic level. You're supposed to learn on a moment-to-moment basis, and that's how time counts. And you moment of experiences, you move forward and you grow and evolve, and all those beautiful flowing with life and flowing with the direction of universe and flowing with your own experiences and learning journeys. Journey. The whole reward is always in the journey. That's why there is no value in jumping timelines just to steal from people's blessings and people's gifts and whatever it is that God has given for them. Jumping through portals and creating time gaps and jumping through timelines at the moment of their blessings. You didn't even travel. You refuse to even do the job. You refuse to travel. You refuse to make your own pathway at all. When you look back, the existence of yours is just pathetic or broken or not. The work you have done is non-existent, that your own existence is also non-existence. And you absolutely added no value whatsoever. And you did no useful, meaningful job at all. You contributed nothing. By jumping timelines and finding fraudulent quantum physics and dark magic and other secrets, by twisting time-space fabric, you keep jumping and stealing from others at the final moment of their achievement, which they did through the journey, which they achieved through the journey. The journey was the real reward, and they have added so much value to their soul and their life, and you did not. And you want to find shortcuts like that to keep jumping from here and there to steal from others. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it or how long you were able to do it to other people, but it won't work anymore. People who have been doing this for a very long time, they're all going back to ground zero. In fact, it's not even zero, because they degenerated themselves, and from there they have to start their journeys all over again. Wherever they've stopped, wherever their degeneration was, that's where they have to start their journeys now. Again, whether they choose to learn or not is up to them. But they won't get to keep jumping here and there and creating false timelines and loopholes and time gaps and jump and take the rewards and blessings of others without doing any job. So your pathway is highly personal and private, which means your blessings or curses will be your own. and that will be the new reality in the coming existence of this creation. Now, whatever has been done in the past, which has been made through violating all these laws, that time has come to an end. You cannot jump through like that and not doing the journey, not going through pathways, but simply just stealing from others. It doesn't work that way anymore. You go back to wherever you started, wherever you stunted yourself. You go back there and start your journey. And you don't get to interfere with other people's journeys anymore. It's high time. It won't work anymore. Not in this reality. Your false reality is coming to a halt. It's crumbling, and it's totally going to crumble and crush under the weight of the truth. That's the power of truth. It's going to crush. It's going to be crushed under the weight of truth and exposure of darkness so much that it will crumble under its own weight. It will collapse under its own weight. And when all is said and done, when all the dust settles down, everybody goes back to where they are truly meant to start their journeys from. And that will be the real reality, the true reality. And that existence will be the new reality for the creation. That old existence of cheating and jumping and faking and not even doing any, creating your pathways and learning anything, doing anything with your internal and outside resources, but stealing from others who have done the job, that is over. That existence has come to an end. It's crumbling fast, and it's a good thing, because enough is enough. The fairness has been disturbed so much. It's created so much injustice and unfairness at a cosmic level that it's been restored. All the fairness is to be restored, and it will be. And that's the whole point behind all this journey that I've been through, as a literal embodiment of creation. And it's necessary. This cannot go on forever. This went on for a while for its own reasons, but it can't go on like this forever. And this is how time truly exists, as a non-linear entity, element, and how things work around time and work around experiences and moments and pathways and journeys, and everything has to do with your internal environment. And external environment is also going to play a role, but it will be a small part. Major things will be about your own internal environment, and that's the power you have. And whatever you've gained through your pathway and ultimately gained through that lessons will be your product of your journey, your work, and you get to enjoy it. Nobody gets to steal from it. And that's how universe works, and one has to respect and honor it.